Do you think it's absolutely necessary for an animator to know the Disney style of classical animation?
Actually, there's a lot of bias among the people who are designer animators. The Disney style of animation is not good, and vice versa. The Disney style of animators are very, very critical about the designer style. That they don't know really animation, and we are the ones who actually know the animation. I think it's the principles of animation is something that one should be aware of, whether it is in designing of animation or whether it is Disney animation. Disney animation necessarily means that creating characters with a certain amount of formula and a certain amount of structure. I don't think the structure is necessary when you're creating your own characters. So the design forms could be animated, keeping in mind the principles involved in classical animation, as in stretch, squash. Maybe they won't be applied, but the animator should be aware of these principles, and they should work at the back of his mind, especially the small principles like ease in, ease out, and anticipation, reaction, all those things. So I think it's very important to know the classical animation principles per se, and not Disney style of animation.
With institutes like NID and Zika in Hyderabad as two centers for animation, where do you think India stands in animation a decade from now?
I don't see, frankly speaking, I don't see NID or Zika providing that kind of a platform, because Zika is especially a very commercial sort of a venture, and NID has its own limitations in terms of actual classical animation principles, that when a person comes out from NID, he or she is not able to animate with a certain amount of dexterity, and they are having problems of being absorbed into the studios. I think what we need is some sort of training similar to the one that I've undergone, which is that they say that you make a film with your own style of drawings, and you develop your own style. But at the same time, they teach you studio animation, so that the moment a person gets out of the school, he is able to fend for himself. He is able to survive as an animator. He is able to make his career as an animator. It doesn't matter if he's at Disney or if he's working with the National Film Board, or he's making his own personal film.
With such a media boom happening, how strongly do you think animation works as a medium of communication?
I think it works as good or as well in India abroad. It's just that the possibilities are not being explored here because of various reasons. First of all, when a person thinks of an animated concept, he says, "Oh shit, where the hell do I get the animators from?" So he dumps the concept straight away. What is happening is that we need more animators so that a person can think in animation and know that there are 10 different places he can get the animation done from, and he's not bound by the diktats of a few studios. That he has various options in front of him, and that's when the real triumph for animation in India will come.
Kireet, with such little awareness of animation in India and with such few animators happening, what kind of responsibility do you think you owe to forwarding this medium?
I think there's a tremendous responsibility. I think there's a very, very tremendous responsibility, and I don't think anybody in this industry has the so far. We should have. And what we first need is a academy sort of a thing, where we can have trained animators coming out from the school each year, and they are absorbed into the industry, or they set up their own studios, or they work with some established studios. So that's the only way, I guess, we can start about creating an awareness. The other thing that is being proposed is setting up an animation society, where all the animators get together once a month or once every fortnight and see films, discuss their own projects, show their storyboards, get evaluations, critical evaluations from their fellow animators. Unfortunately, what is happening is that there is not enough of enthusiasm among even the younger animators to come together in one place and actually make sure that something of this materializes. I guess even starting off just of the Animation Society would, in a way, create a very large-scale awareness whereby all the animators can form a sort of an organization. They are collectively in a much better position to bargain and set rates for, let's say, advertising or for serials or for other things, and I think collectively they stand to gain each other a lot more in creativity also, where they're exchanging ideas and seeing what the other people are doing, and thereby get inspiration, because India is really, really far ahead as far as animation is concerned.
Kireet, having been exposed to the Western formal training and knowing the scenario of animation in India, would you at any point, given a chance, want to start an animation school of your own?
Sure. I think I will retire early and start up an animation institute and just teach at the institute. I think that's very much on the cards.
Do you see yourself animating the rest of your life?
Yes.